All right, we are going to solve this question. So the question is coming from complex numbers. All right, so shall we start? So we have been given the question to say, given that z is equal to 3 plus I over 1 minus I, like that. Okay, so that's I, so that's z. All right, so then we are told to find z minus 1 over z. Okay, so that's what you have been told to find. Okay, so now let me just give you a hint to say, when you see I multiplying times I, all right, in short, an even I is equal to what? Is equal to -1. Okay, so if again it is now odd I, let's say I to the power 3, so that will give you what? Still I. Okay, then negative I mean, because if you say 2I then times again I, that is I to the power 3. Now this I give you -1, and even is always producing what? Then times the same I, so this will give us what? -I. So in short, I squared is equal, I even is equal to what? -1. So you substitute the even number. If you had, let's say, what can I say, if you had, let's say, let me just give you an example. If you had I to the power 23, all right, so what you do is you say I, you can say I to the power 22, okay, times I again. All right, so this one is giving you what? -1 times the same I, so which will be just negative what? I. So that is it, bear in mind that. So now coming to the question, now, so want to solve this one. So the first thing that we need to do is to find z itself, so that we replace there, all right, and also we replace there. Okay, so that's our interest. How do we do that then? We are saying this is z, all right, we have been given z to say it's 1 plus I over 1 minus I, like that. Okay, so what do? We don't want it in a situation whereby we have I as a denominator. So what do? We actually multiply by its conjugate. So I'm multiplying this one by its conjugate. So the conjugate, you get the denominator conjugate. So the denominator conjugate is actually 1. So you just change this sign here. Okay, so it's I mean 1. Now it will be plus I. The same thing again, we have changed nothing, the conjugate changes nothing, just the other way around to play with mathematics. So that is still giving us 1 that I've put in the bracket. So then I multiply now throughout. So down there, this is the difference of two squares. You can see we have I there plus or minus. So what we do, I'll just say that 1 squared, all right, minus I squared as well. So that's the difference of two squared down there. Then now I multiply now, this time this, again this time that, again this time this, again this time that. So 3 times 1, that is what? 3. Then 3 times j I, that is what? Positive 3 what? I. Then I'm done with 3. So I come now to I. So I times I, that is now just the I. Then I times that, that is now I squared, which is negative what? I. That's like I said. Okay, I'll say this. I will write like this, that is now I what? Squared, like that. Okay, so from there then I'm saying I'll group the like terms. This plus this, that's 4. So I'll say 3 plus 4I. Okay, then I squared, we said is -1. Okay, over this is just 1. Then I squared, you said that's -1. So we have -1 inside there. Okay, so that is now when you add this one, 3 minus 2, that is 2 now. 3 minus 1, that's 2, plus 4I. Okay, so since that is the down there you have what? Plus 2. So once you add there, this will be positive, then it will give us what? 2 as a denominator. Then we can now simplify, like we divide independently. So this will be 2 over 2 plus 4i over 2, which will just definitely give us what? 1 plus what? 1 plus 2i, like that. So this is the value of z. We can say therefore z is equals to that. So let's find z, 1 over z now, this part here. So I'll say 1 over z again. Okay, so what I will do is I'll bring the same z. I'll say 1 over, all right, I said we don't want in a situation whereby we have I as a denominator. We don't want this, like even the question is specifying to say in the form of that. So what I'll do is I'll bring the same z down there, and we are from finding z, proper z, which is 1, all right, plus 2i, like that. So again we multiply by its conjugate. Okay, so the conjugate of this one, now just change the sign there as a denominator. So this will be now minus what? 2i, like that. Okay, so the same thing you apply on both sides, denominator and numerator. All right, so it's just the same thing. You see, this is just 1. I've changed nothing. So on top, if I multiply times 1 throughout, it will still give me the same thing. All right, then over this time that is what? 1. This is difference of 2 squared, like you can see. So that is 1 squared minus now 2i, all right, squared, like that. So we say 1 minus 2i, all right, this is just 1 squared 1 minus everything inside there. All right, so that is 4 then times negative 1, that I squared. All right, so now this will be what? 1 minus 2i over 1. What is the negative times there? That will be positive. Now what? 4. All right, so that will give us what? 1 minus 2i over 5. All right, so this is, now I can say this is 1 over 5 minus 2i over 5, like that. So this is the value of what? 1 over z. Okay, so now that we have 1 over z, the value, so we want to find the actual answer now. Okay, this is nice. So it's just a matter of substituting. We have 1 over z, and also we have z. Z is equals to that, and we have everything. The data that we need is there. Okay, sorry, what I'm writing is bent. I'm not in a comfortable place. So what we are going to do is we just replace. The question is find z minus 1 over z. All right, so z now is what? Z is this one here. Okay, so I'll replace there. That is 1 minus 2i, like that, right? Then minus what is now 1 over z, is this one that we are from finding. All right, so what I'll do is I'll put that one in the bracket. So it's minus 1 over 5 minus 2i over 5 as well. Okay, so from there then I distribute the negative. So that will be now 1 minus 2i minus 1 over 5. Then that will be plus what? 2i over 5. So I group the like terms from there. So this one will come with that. So that will be 1 minus 1 over 5. All right, the one without i's, we group them. So that will be now negative what? Okay, negative 2i, then plus 2i, like that. Okay, so what is this now? Okay, so what is what is common there is 5. All right, 5 times that, that's 5. Then 5 into that, that's 1, so that's 1. All right, then minus, I don't know if it's minus, but I'll say what is common there. All right, what is common there is 5. 5 into that, that's negative what, 10. So that's negative 10. Okay, so that is negative 10. Then from there, what we are going to do is we're going to say I've really made a big mistake here. If you can see, I've made a big mistake. That the z is plus. All right, so z is plus. Okay, z here is plus. Okay, that's the value of z here. Then the last 1 over z is this side. So now if we continue like that, that will give us 1 plus 2i like that. All right, then minus 1 over 5 like that. Okay, then plus 2i over what, 5 like that. Okay, so that is it. We can now group the right hand. That was plus there. Then we have now 1 minus 1 over 5. All right, then we have again what, plus 2i, all right, plus 2i like that over 5. Okay, so what is common here of the independent? That's 5 there, right? So 5 times that, that's 5 minus 1. Okay, what about here? What is independent is 5. I mean, what is common is 5. 5 into that, that's what, 10. Okay, then plus 5 into that, that's 2. So 2i, then 10i like that. Okay, so this is what, this is the 4 over 5. So this is 4 over 5 for those independent one. Then here is what, it's plus you add there, what is that, plus what, this is 12i over 5. Okay, so we have expressed in the form of a plus 1 over b like that. Here it can be plus or minus, by the way, so we don't care, but this is the answer. So this is the answer we needed. Thank you very much for watching the video. Please subscribe.